question we're asking today is, does God want to heal me? And it's a question that I've wrestled with many times, especially in seasons of pain and uncertainty. And if I'm honest, there are moments when I've doubted. Why isn't God stepping in? Why hasn't he answered the way I hoped? But here's what I've learned and what I know for sure. God always, I emphasize always, is with me and wants to help me. Throughout his word, we see countless examples of Jesus bringing restoration to the broken and the lost. He healed the sick, he comforted the brokenhearted, and he brought hope to the hopeless. That's the God we serve, a compassionate, powerful God who does heal and restore. But what about when healing doesn't come the way I expect? What then? Well, here's what I've realized. I've realized that there are times when my suffering actually serves a greater purpose. The Apostle Paul prayed 3 times for God to remove what he called a thorn in his flesh. And God said, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." What? Perfect in weakness? Well, sometimes my pain literally becomes the platform for someone else to experience God's strength through my story, through my struggle. And other times, suffering can be a wake-up call. I mean, think about Samson. His suffering came as a result of his own bad choices. But even in that, God was faithful to restore him when he turned back to him. So maybe the pain I'm feeling is an invitation to realign my life with God's best for me. And then there are times when suffering just is the result of a broken world and the actions of others. Esther's people faced destruction because of a man named Haman and his evil intent. But God still intervened and brought justice in the right time. In those moments, I hold on to the truth that God sees, God knows, and he will make all things right. So here's the greatest truth I've come to cling to in my suffering. One day, I will be completely healed. That is an absolute certainty. And maybe it's not in this life, but I have the promise of eternal life with no more pain, no more tears, and no more suffering. So even if I have to walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil because I know God is with me. He's either leading me to greener pastures or he's calling me home. And so no matter what, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that life or death can throw at me that will separate me from the love of God. And that's the hope I hold on to. So does God heal us? Absolutely. Every time in his way and in his perfect timing. And that is a stepping stone to becoming who God has created you to be.